All right, so I was bumming around and I found this. So we got Nintendo's broad patent on summonable companions raises industry concerns. Oh shit. From Screen Rant, Tom Wilson. Uh oh. What is silly Nintendo doing again? Okay, let me read this. Nintendo has filled yet another patent in the US. Oh my, what was that? Which is cause for significant concern within the industry as a whole. Throughout its ongoing legal battle in with Pocket Pair, the developer behind the smash hit Pow World, Nintendo has been filling patents to cover its various iconic mechanics. Of course, one would expect the broader patents to be rejected. Yet it would seem that Nintendo has managed to have numerous patents approved that cover general mechanics utilized by a lot of games, Power World included. All right. So yeah, this so there's patents for physical things, there's patents for intellectual property things, like intangible things. I've never really heard about I've heard about video games like patenting um like for example matchmaking systems, like engagement based matchmaking, skills based matchmaking, right? We had all that Call of Duty stuff back in the day. You know, Activision does not shy away about the patents that it's put in for its like specific skills based matchmaking system that everybody loves. So I actually do wonder if Nintendo has actually been watching like what's been happening with other like AAA studios and what they've been doing. So if they have been watching what everyone else is doing, and what everyone else is doing has been filing patents to cover its various iconic mechanics, of course one would expect the broader patents to be rejected. I mean, that makes sense, because how else would we have something like Battlefield if we didn't have stuff like Call of Duty or Medal of Honor or Rainbow Six or, you know, 007? Broader patents. So this is a good question. Like, what's the difference between a broad patent and a specific patent? That I would need to see like the exact thing. Yet it was okay. We already read that. That is kind of worrisome to me. The most worrying patent is patent number 12,403,039. Okay, I probably said that wrong, but whatever. Which Games Fray revealed has already been granted in the US. The patent covers sub-characters which refer to summonable companions that can act autonomously or as directed by the player. Ooh, so that's like specific, but it's kind of so wait. Wouldn't Dragon's Dogma kind of fall into this, or no? Because I'm trying to think. Or what about like Star Wars Republic Commando or any sort of game? Summonable companions. Okay, sub characters, which for summonable companions, summon companions. So you have to be able to have a sub character, and they have to be summoned. I mean, you can kind of summon pawns, don't you? And the pawns can act autonomously or be directed by the player. So don't pawns from Dragon's Dogma kind of fall into this? I mean, maybe you don't have to summon like squad mates in like a shooter game, but I'm like, what about Elden Ring? What about any game where you can just like, what about Final Fantasy? You can summon Aeons. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Am I reaching? This patent is not only going to make the Power World legal issue significantly worse, but it could also have serious impacts on any future creature collection game or even titles like Elden Ring that utilize summonables. Oh, wow. I even thought it before I read it. Let me see something real quick. Let me see something. Okay, is my chat GPT about to out me? Okay, let me see. Okay. So let me highlight summonable companions that can be autonomously. Let's see. ChatGPT. Name me a few games that have summonable companions that can act autonomously or as directed by the player. A few. Let's see. Let's give specific. Video games. Let me see. Oh, shit. Oh, I did say Dragon's Dogma. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Here are a few games across the genres where you can summon companions ability to fight either autonomously or as... Ooh. So we got Elder Scrolls. Oh, shit. I forgot. Elder Scrolls. You can summon the like any summon. Dragon's Dogma. The Pawn System. Final Fantasy series. Various entries, summons. I thought of that. I'm so gamer. I'm such a gamer. Okay, so some new stuff. So Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor. You can dominate orcs and summon them into the battle. I gotta play Middle Earth, dude. Fable 2 and 3. Hack and slash. Oh, the minion builds from any ARPG ever. What the fuck? Diablo 2 and 3. Path of Exile. Summoners use zombies. Shooters. Mass Effect. Squad mates can be commanded to attack, use abilities, or move, but otherwise act autonomously. Oh, Bioshock Infinite. You can summon turrets. That's a summonable ally that can act autonomously. Pikmin. I mean, the Pikmin's Nintendo. Oh, Nintendo could be like Ouroboros saying itself. You know, it's eating its own tail. Oh shit! Monster Hunter Rise. Palicos and Palamute companions fight and support you mostly autonomously, but you can influence their skills and loadouts. Which is a more combat-heavy focus, like fan style AI. Yes, yes. Actually, yes. Name me more games. Let me see. Baldur's Gate 3. Okay. Summon creatures. Okay, Neverwinter Nights. Divinity, Original Sin. Kingdom Hearts. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. Torchlight, Grim Dawn. Titan Quest. Halo Wars, Destiny. Fallout. Legend of Zelda. Okami. Xenoblade Chronicle Series. Strategy. Overlord. Sacrifice. Warcraft. Blizzard. Get in here. Age of Wonders. Dark Souls. Elden Ring. World of Warcraft. You can summon dudes. Monster Sanctuary. Wow. Who is letting these patents go in? I, a regular guy, just chat GPT'd a bevy of other games that could potentially get sued by Nintendo if they so choose. This patent is not only going to make the Power World legal, I already read this, but it could also have more serious impacts on the future creature collection game. So what? You guys are the only ones that can collect creatures? Since when do you guys have a fucking monopoly on creature collecting? On fake, fictional creature collecting. You make up shit and you collect the shit. You guys have a monopoly on that? I didn't know that. My bad. Okay, is this the same article or is this like a little bit more? Nintendo has patented sub-characters. It basically owns the idea of summonable companions. Yeah, right. I just ChatGPT'd a bunch of other games where you can summon companions. This new patent means that no other games can utilize the concepts and methods outlined within it without risking patent infringement and a potential lawsuit from Nintendo. The patent mostly focuses on the aforementioned sub-characters and prevents other developers from having a feature wherein the player can cause a sub-character to appear in the field. Wow, in quotes. Cause a sub-character to... bro, there's no way the lawyers worded the patent like this, because this is the most bonehead line I've ever heard. Have you guys not played a video game ever where you can summon shit and then later control a battle between the sub character and the enemy character by a first mode in which the battle proceeds based on an operation input? What? Battle proceeds based on an operation input? Yeah, welcome to fucking video games, person who made this stupid patent. Welcome. That's how video games work. Essentially, this patent covers a very well-known concept of summoning a Pokemon or equivalent summonable. Ooh, this is the juice part. Equivalent summonable. And then using it to battle against an enemy. The patent also covers sub-characters battling automatically, as we see in games like Elden Ring, Power World. What is interesting is that, unlike other patents Nintendo has attempted to push through, the United States Patent and Trademark Office raised no issues with this particular patent, granting it without any issues. So the patent has been granted. Has there ever been like a time in history where a patent went through and then it was like somehow later like redacted or like gone back on? Let me see. Let me ChatGPT this. Has there ever been any instance in history where a patent was granted but then later taken away based on further information? Maybe I'll take that. Yes, there are several instances in history where patents were granted and then later revoked. Okay, revoked. Okay. Canceled after further information came to light. Oh, okay. So all is not lost, guys. We can still make things right. Samuel Morris's telegraph patent. Samuel Morris patented his telegraph system and a broad claim on using electromagnetism to print characters at a distance. Revocation in O'Reilly v. Morris. The U.S. Supreme Court invalidated Morris's overly broad claim because he hadn't actually invented all possible uses of electromagnetism for communication. Why? The court found his patent tried to monopolize more than what he actually created. All kind of sounds familiar. Back in 1854. Oh, wow. The telegraph, the telephone, airplane patents, pharmaceuticals, gene CRISPR gene editing patent battles. So yes, and history shows the patents are not set in stone. They can be granted and then overturned, revoked, or narrowed. Wow. So all is not lost, guys. Everybody's going out here doomsaying, and right now it's pretty dooming, pretty damning, but we need to somehow further educate the people who are granting these patents. This is naturally hugely concerning for the industry and a lot of indie developers as well. The indie scene. Oh wow. This is pretty clear. It is pretty clear how this new Nintendo patent could not only worsen Palworld's lawsuit, but rather, I just regular guy Chad GPT'd how to counter all that shit. And it even gives examples of like fucking like court things. But also significantly harm future games that fit within the creature collection genre. Digimon titles heavily rely on this premise, as do, to a lesser extent, the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei series. As aforementioned, even Elden Ring, the ever-beloved Elden Ring, has a similar mechanic with its summons. It remains to be seen how Nintendo will progress now that it has successfully obtained the patent in the US, but its infamously litigious nature could spell disaster for many. Guys, watch this video. I just Chat GPT'd you a fucking home run. All right, please. You rub together some brain cells. It is very possible that the Palworld lawsuit was the start of a far greater campaign to take down the competition within this genre. Although it should be stated that prior to Palworld, Nintendo never asserted its dominance over the creature collection genre outside the charts. Okay, so you've never asserted your dominance over creature collection, so now why are you? What, because now you have competition and it's better than yours currently, and right now you're eating a dick because you guys are so lazy with your recent, and probably for a while, iterations and generations of Pokemon that everyone's bored of them? This patent would certainly give it greater control over it. Okay, like article writer, like give it greater control over it. What is this it and what is that it? Come on now. However, and that could be potentially dangerous for any developer, big or small, attempting to enter the space. The broad nature of Nintendo's new patent is scary, and one that everyone from fans to developers should be wary of. Take those fucking patents away from these losers. Guys, take them away. Not just this one. Go back a little bit. See what other patents they tried to put into place. Figure out if they're valid or not. And then do with it what you will. All right. I literally was just able to discredit like a bunch of bullshit with that patent. They can... Oh my God. How could Nintendo do this? Like, how retarded are they? They are so stupid. Like, there needs to be some like game, maybe D&D, maybe Dungeons and Dragons, because Dungeons and Dragons, doesn't Dungeons and Dragons predate like Nintendo and Pokemon? Maybe they should file a lawsuit, or not a lawsuit, but like maybe they should have to like put a patent on creature summoning, right? Because you could do that in this little like tabletop thing. Surely Pokemon drew some sort of inspiration from Dungeons and Dragons, right? Surely. Somebody else should give Nintendo a taste of their own medicine, brother. Wow. This is actually crazy, and it's been granted to them. Like, bro, actually insane. Yeah, this is horrible. Because, like, imagine, because Nintendo is doing this to their thing, because the other example is, what was it? Like, the Shadow of Mordor people, I do remember this specifically. They put a patent on the Nemesis system, because everybody that's played Shadow of Mordor, they actually like the Nemesis system. And it had something to do, like, because I didn't play it yet. It had something to do with, like, you kill like some level of orc, but like he somehow gets away, and he's just like severely injured, and then he like survives in like the game world, and like he goes to like higher ranks, and then he like, because you like took an arm or cut like a big scar in him, he like remembers that shit, and he carries that chip on his shoulder, and he's like, oh, I'm a fucking captain now, I'm a general now. Remember when you cut off my arm and now I got like a hook? That's like good gameplay. Like, because you have made a nemesis. Everybody liked that, and the I think I forgot if it was either the studio or the publisher that did it. They put a patent on the Nemesis system so that no other game can do the Nemesis system, which is an absolute clown show. One game did try to replicate it without directly doing it, and Warframe kind of did it with like the witches and the liches. It's like Nemesis system diet Nemesis system. So that's how they like can kind of like skirt around it, but it doesn't feel the same. It never felt the same whenever I did it playing Warframe. But yeah, these companies need to stop doing this because it's like, so like if I zoom out, it's great for companies to do this, but it's shitty for everybody else. It's shitty for other potential game makers, and it's shitty for just the like audience of people that play video games, because since no other game studio can replicate that, then it's like, oh, if I want this specific thing, I have to go here, right? So like what if Battlefield put a patent on that specific brand of vehicle combat or destroying buildings? And if you want to play like a shooting game that you wanted vehicle combat and building destruction, you have to play Battlefield, right? That sounds ridiculous. Or I don't even know if Call of Duty did this. Did Call of Duty put a patent on their little 8-way sprint thing with all the silly movement that it's doing? I mean, maybe they did. Maybe that's just the trend. Anytime you come up with a new game mechanic, quickly put a patent on it before anybody else can. This is absolutely insane. Fucking crazy, dude. Should Valve put a patent on what's the system they use for like Counter-Strike? I fucking forgot the name of that like shooting system, to where you can like bunny hop and shit and all that stuff. Because if they did, or if they ever did or ever could, would, should, that would put Apex out of a job. Apex Legends, because they use similar, like a different version of like that game engine. That's why you have like silly stuff like aim smoothing and bunny hopping in Apex. Wow. This is absolutely detrimental to the overall game industry. Stop filing patents, you absolute losers. You're fucking leeches and scum for filing patents. Okay, that's about it. All right, later.